Hey guys, it's me, Liz, from Liz Does Flosstube. This is Maggie.
Hi.
So, this is going to be a WIP Parade. It is Saturday, June 4th, and I started counted cross stitch June 9th. So I figured I've got a year's worth of WIPs. I spent some time getting these in order of when I started them. Technically my very first cross stitch was the stamped kit from Tapestry Market. And then I liked that so much I tried counted cross stitch for the first time and loved it. So my first, I'm not going to show before pictures because a lot of these I haven't touched in a while. But after I finish this video, I'm going to do my regular floss tube. So you'll get to see some projects twice. So let's see. First one is Big Trouble in Little China. So this is on 14 count Ada because it was my first project, and I kind of want to start it over because you can see the Ada through the stitches, which wouldn't be that big of a deal on the lighter colors, but on the dark colors it really shows. So I really kind of want to start this over. Plus the fact that I have two projects on one piece of Ada and I only have like an inch of margin. So probably gonna start it over at some point. So first project is Big Trouble in Little China. Both of these are from Pixel Man Strikes Back. He has a whole bunch of movies and like rock bands and stuff like that, and these characters. So here's Big Trouble in Little China, and then I started that June 9th, 2021, and then July 3rd, 2021, I started The Fifth Element. Now, Fifth Element, he's over here too. There, I got some. So that's that. But like I said, so it's 14 count, and it's like you can really see through the stitches. So I think I just want to start it over. So that's one. I don't know what I'm going to do with, I'm probably going to have to take a break at some point to move these because I have so many. Okay. After that, I started the Witchy Stitcher Cryptid Stitch Along, and I started that August 28th, 2021. This stitch along ended at the end of January. Ew, they don't want to see that. Just eat it.
Why?
Because it's just a prune. Because just eat it. It's your food. Eat it. So it ended the end of January this year, 2022. I have literally not touched it all year, and it's June. I was getting so frustrated with a couple of the releases, like two of the cryptids that came out. Both of them were a little funky with pattern keepers, so I have like, it was too hard to count and figure out where it was supposed to be and keep track of. It was just too hard. Well, now that it's complete, I have the full pattern and I can work on it again, but I just haven't done it. So this I will show another picture because this is the bottom half. And so I'll insert a picture of the top half. And then this is the bottom half. And then in this spot here was supposed to be two skulls here and two skulls here. But I used that spot to put my initials and the year. But since most of it was done in 2021, but it ended in 2022, I put 21 and 22. But I really do like it, and I would like to finish it at some point. Plus, now that it's but now that it's finished and everyone's been posting their finishes most of this year, I've got some ideas of what to do extra. So this one, I didn't do many things that I changed.
Who needs me? Who needs me?
Okay. So a lot of people did little funny things to the cryptids, and I didn't really change any of them, but for the frogman, I did give him a seam ripper. That was the only thing I changed about any of them. Oh, I think I changed the color of the flower for the jackalope, but other than that, I didn't change anybody. So there we go. And this fabric is Elixir by XJU Designs, 18 count. After that one, I started my Schitt's Creek sampler. Oh, this one I can insert a picture of the top too. I started this one on September 4th, 2021. And I've made a bunch of progress on it now. So here is a picture of the top of it because I've already scrolled. And then here is where I'm at, extending the borders down, and I'm working on Rose Apothecary, the Cafe Tropical, and Bob's Garage is here, and then all the words, backstitch words. So that's how far I got on that one. And that one, when you pick it up, it's really easy to stitch and just go with it. And that is actually not in that order. So tattoos is, oh, Chinese Zodiac. This is Frosted Pumpkin. It was a stitch along one year, and I of course got it after the stitch along. But I started this one, if I put it over here, maybe I won't have to stretch this far. How about that? Chinese Zodiac, September 11th, 2021. So here's where I got to on this one. And the stitch along, the way they did it was they did the knot in the middle, and then they released 2 or 3 of the animals each month. But my plan is to do everything but the animals and then save the animals for last. But that's how far I got on that one. And then after that, I started Stitch Robia's, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Believe in Yourself because in the banners it says Believe in Yourself. I call it tattoos because they're tattoos. They're like Sailor Cherry tattoos. I started this one November 8th, 2021. There are a couple things that I did and they were gifts, so I don't have them anymore. But this is WIPs, not finishes, so. So November 8th. And I haven't gone very far on this one, but it's not really worth taking it off of this frame to use the frame, because this is one of the cheapy split rods and I don't like them. So this one just stays on this frame even though I'm not actually doing it. And I was trying to figure out the easiest way to do it. Is it easier to do all the black and then fill in the color, or do the colors and then outline in black? I don't know. But it's really pretty. And I really do want to do it, but I just, other stuff came up and I wanted to do those. Okay. So after that one, I started my giant Harry Potter. And I started it November 30th, 2021. And for Restart Mania, I restarted it on a darker fabric. So I don't know where it should go. Should it go in the original spot? Yeah. So this is my restart of the Harry Potter. So I'll insert the 2 pictures I have of it on the light fabric. There's the top of it, and then the middle chunk, which is actually, I did the middle chunk first. And then this is my restart. And I really like it on this dark fabric. Everything's going to show up really well. And then I made this needle minder out of a piece of Harry Potter fabric. And then this is, oh man, I can't remember. Oh, did I write it down? Maybe. Nope. Yeah, maybe I wrote down what this fabric is. It's from my Vintage Needle Arts. It's one of theirs. I love their fabric. I've got a few pieces of their fabric, I think. So that's that one. And then after that, I started Cardinal Points, which is my long dog. I started it on January 8th, 2022. This is a long dog, but you can't get it through Long Dog. They charted it for Gentle Arts. So you can get it from Gentle Arts, or you can get it from people that sell patterns. So of course it's charted in Gentle Arts because they charted it for Gentle Arts. But there's so many colors. Like, this is all the colors. I couldn't buy all that Gentle Arts. I kind of wish I could, because I would love to see the difference of the DMC version and the Gentle Arts version. But so January 8th, 2022, and this is just the giant fabric giant Ada that I got from Amazon. So here is where I'm at. I got my page finish, and I haven't picked it up since I got that page finish. I just love the cardinals. I saved the cardinal for last when I stitched. And it says in the middle, the gentle art of a needle woman lies embodied in her work, or something like that. So, oh, and then, so there's this motif has a crown, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to backstitch a 70 for the Queen's Jubilee. I just thought that would be a nice little touch, because Queen Elizabeth, it's 70 years. After that, I did Where There Are Bees, and this is a Prairie Schooler, and this is the same fabric. It's just the giant 18 count Ada that I got from Amazon, but I really like it, so I used it for a whole bunch of stuff. And I even ordered a whole nother chunk of it. So I started this one the day after I started that, January 9th, 2022. Like I said, this is Prairie Schooler. I think it's out of print, but you can still get it on like Etsy. But it says, where there are bees, there's honey. And this is, it's just one long sheet. So I kind of scanned it half and half. So this is technically a page finish for me. But there's that. And I just love these. These are the DMC colors, but I just love how prim they are. They're like, this is like a grayish green. It's just so pretty. And then the blue is kind of like a denim blue. It's so, so cool. And then this is the one where I spilled my Java Monster, so you can see the coffee stain, but it looks fine. That's another one where there's not that much more of it. I could probably finish that pretty easily. And there's only like 4 colors. After that, I started Halloween Quaker on January 22nd, 2022. And this, I really like this one too. And this is a fabric flare. It's called Twilight Dye Effect, or Twilight Hand Dye Effect. And it's the sparkly one. So this fabric is printed because it's fabric flare. Must be getting ready to storm. It just got kind of dark outside. So here is where I got to. So the nice thing is, this is the entire size of the pattern. It goes down to here, so that's how big it's gonna be. And the last time I picked it up, I did this, but that's cool. I love this fabric, and it's sparkly. Just 18 count. I don't know where I'm putting all these. Ooh, no, you don't. Okay. And after that, oh no. Wow, that's out of order. So the Geisha Girl, I actually started after Christmas. So I started that 12/28/2021. I don't know why it's so far down on the list. Because this was a Christmas present from my mom. So I had to start it pretty quick. Or she'd be like, why did I buy it? Where's my... Oh, I know where they are. I was like, where's my needle minders and my needle? So yeah, so 12/28/2021. And it's so much 310 in her hair. So I did get to the point where I got low enough to do the butterfly, so I did all the butterfly and then the black around it because there's quarter stitches and stuff in there. But mostly the rest of this is black. It's a lot. And then this is Vintage Needle Arts. This one's called Cotton Candy. And again, it's just really nice and it's so pretty. Now her, like, backs of her fabric are kind of weird. They're like, I don't know, they're just a little weird. So they pretty much just have one side. I mean, they're hand dyed, but must just be what she does in her dyeing process. And then I was supposed to start the Under the Sea Stitch Along by Frosted Pumpkin. And I had my fabric ready and everything. We are now 3 months in and I haven't started it. But that was going to be started January 15th. It was supposed to, wait. Oh, I don't know when it was supposed to start because it's not started. But the next one would be my Hufflepuff Crest. And I started this one on January 15th, 2022. This one is on that same oatmeal-y color of Ada from Amazon. And this is where I'm at. I found this pattern on Pinterest. And it was, you know, you could just download it for free. But I didn't know if it was like, if you were really supposed to. But I really liked it. So I was going to go find it and go ahead and pay the artist, you know. And I found their listing on Etsy and I was going to pay for it. But someone said on Instagram that she actually had originally released it as a freebie. So I'm cool. Everything's fine. So that's nice. But so the last time I worked on it, I finished up the top part of the badger. I still have to fill in the rest of the yellow in the banner and then get the bottom of him, and then I've got all the background. It's a lot of background. And then had my my Christmas project. It's Good Tidings by The Drawn Thread. This I got the kit, but I didn't use the fabric because it came with just brown, I think it was brown linen or even weave. And then I had this fabric that I had tried to dye for the Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure, but I thought, well, that'll work perfect. So here is where I'm at. It's a real long, skinny project, so I put it in my frame this way, so I'm having to stitch it this way. So this is where I got to. I've got the M done and I'm up to the R. And then I realized that there's these little snowflakes here and they're smearing crosses, and I realized I did them too small. So I'll have to do those again. Or maybe just the ones in the middle will be bigger, and then I'll have to remember to do the ones on the other side small again. That might work. But yeah, I did them too small. I thought, well, this is kind of weird. They don't look like much more than cross stitches. And then I was looking at instructions on some other page, and I was like, oh, that's why. I just didn't know what I was doing. And then after that, I started my crazy project, which I have 2 different projects on one scroll frame. Hold on, let's see. Give me a minute, let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, I just realized I don't have enough room right here. Like I said, I have a lot. Okay, so my next one is what I call Maggie's ABCs. And this is on my frame that has 2 different projects on it. This is Stitchrovia, I think it's called Bright Alphabet. Yeah. And it's for Maggie, so I'm calling it Maggie's ABCs. And I am doing 1 letter at a time. So here is where I got to. And then that's how big it is. It stops there. And I started that on February 8th. And then after that, on February 10th, I started Santa Quill, which is another long dog, but it's not a long dog like regular long dogs. They shared this around Christmas time, and I saw it and had to have it. So it is Santa Quill. So it's Quill in a sleigh, and the sleigh is being pulled by rabbits, and then at the bottom is the little town. It's really cool. And it's only got, I think, 2 colors. I think it's just got black and white. So he's so cool. And this fabric is a fabric flare. I wrote it down. It's called Smoky Blue, and it's sparkly. Yeah, I got the opalescent one. And then that one, again, it's just black, but at least there's counting involved, where the Geisha, it's just, you just gotta go back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And then after that, I started the Tiny Modernist Christmas thing. It was a stitch along, but then they just released it once it was done. And I saw it and I was like, ooh, I really want to do that. And I did not realize how big it was. It's huge. Now, the way they did it, when they released each part was made to be a drum. So it gets a big band, and then they give you the circle part for the top. Or at the end, they made it so you could do it. Well, actually, they probably gave you the frame too. So if you wanted to do it as like a band sampler. So that's how I was going to do it. And I'm like, oh, I really want to do it. This is how big it's going to be. Where's the bottom? That's how big it is. I mean, it's huge. But And then this is a fabric flare. I think it was called Aqua with Snowflakes. And I saw that and I'm like, yep, I need that fabric for that pattern because it looks like snow. I needed the sidebars, so it's still on its things, so I can put it on sidebars next time I want to work on it though. And after that, I started that on March 1st, 2022. After that, I started the Beachcomber on March 12th. And this one I'm doing for my stepmom. She lives in Florida and she loves the beach. She goes shelling, looking for shells. She's in a couple of groups, I think. They know where all the good beaches are to get the good shells. So I thought she would really like this one. And this one is a Carolyn Manning. Carolyn Manning, it's one of the Shooting Star collection. So they're all the same pattern, but different colorways. So this is the Beachcomber, so it's supposed to look like sand and waves. And then it's full coverage, so this is just white Aida. And then I'm working it from the inside out. And I'm working on this blue, and then I'll work on the next little diamond out and go around and around like a mandala. And then after that, I started my Myths and Legends, and this thing has come so far. I call it Myths and Legends. The name is actually like Sampler Summer Patchwork. It's from Stitch Mom Studio. I changed the pattern a tiny bit, just so it would work with what I'm doing, because it's charted to be like a rainbow fade kind of thing. And so I have like 12 colors. Well, I need it to be 5 colors, so I changed it up a little bit. And then I call it Myths and Legends because these are the flower silks from Stitchy Box that are the threads of Myth and Legend. So that's why I call it Myths and Legends. So I started this March 22nd, 2022. And this is how far I am. So this is the middle of it. And then this color repeats on both sides, then this color will be on both sides, and then there'll be another color on both sides, and then the last color on both sides. So I'm making it so it like repeats the colors. But it's really neat. These little diamonds, none of them are the same. They're each a little tiny bit different. The only thing that repeats is this leaf. There's one down here and one up here somewhere. These apples, they were originally both down on the bottom, and then the flowers were both at the top, but I put one apple down here, one apple up there, one flower down there, one flower up here. And then I turned this leaf because it was supposed to be facing the other way, so I flipped it. But other than that, I'm not really changing the pattern. I'm just moving things so it looks more even. But I love it. And then this, I think I got this fabric from Vintage Needle Arts. I cannot tell you. It's probably called like Smoky or something. I don't know. But it's a printed Aida. And it was Zweigart based. So I think it's just a Zweigart printed thing. But it seemed perfect for this. So these colors that you can see so far, this is Hera's Peacock. This stripe and this stripe are Persephone's Pomegranate. And then this set is Hecate's Hounds. So this pomegranate one is like maroon and white and like purple. And then this is dark red, gray, and black. And then this is like peacock colored, so it's green and blue. So. And then the next one after Hecate's Hounds is Demeter's Harvest, and it's like fall colors. And then after that, it'll be Dionysia's wine, so it's like a maroon burgundy kind of color. After I started that one, I started Sweet Bee, which is a Stitch Rovia. I saw this pattern in one of the magazines, one of the cross-stitch magazines. And I had screen capped it and I was going to add it into Pattern Keeper. And then I'm like, you know what? I like this pattern so much, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the PDF. So I did. Bought the PDF. And this is how far I'm at on this one. And look at, okay, I'm going to insert a picture of this before the back stitching and then after. And it is so crazy, the difference that the back stitching makes. Like, I had put this down for a long time because I didn't think it was going to show up on this fabric, so I was kind of bummed. But once you get the back stitching, it pops right off this fabric. And this is a fabric flare. It's called Berkshire Hive. I get my fabric flare from dovestitch.com on Etsy. That's all one word, and dot is spelled out, dovestitch.com. They have tons of fabric flare, and they've got it in different counts of Aida, different counts of linen, even weave. It's really nice. And she's got like big pieces that you can get, so you don't have to settle for like a tiny piece. And then I got this needle minder from Etsy, and I can't remember the shop name, but it's made of polymer clay, and it's little bees. It was a little expensive, but I had to have it. So that's that one. Okay, then I started Scissor Sampler, which I started April 1st. And as soon as I saw Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch show this, I paused her video and went and ordered it. This is Talon Emblem. And it's Scissor Sampler. Now, it's called for to be on like a beigey color or like a cream color. But I wanted it to really pop because the big cherry blossom in the middle. Sorry, choking on my own spit. There's a big cherry blossom in the middle, and I wanted it to really show up. So I'm using this blue. And this blue is Once in a Blue Moon, I think it's called, from Fiberlicious. It's real pretty. So that's where I'm at. And basically what I do for Pattern Keeper is I scan in my paper charts to save them on the computer, upload them to the Google Drive, and then from the Google Drive I can put it into Pattern Keeper. But they're not Pattern Keeper compatible. So I print up the symbol list and just tuck it in my frame. Okay, and then after this, I restarted for Mania. For my Restart Mania, I restarted my Art Deco Lady. And this is from Vibsters. And I really did like her, but I had her on 14 count. Yeah, I had her on 14 count, and I was having to use 3 strands of thread to get coverage. And it was just, it was going to take, it already calls for a lot of floss, and then it was going to take even more because I was having to use 3 strands. So I stopped doing it. So in May, I restarted it. So May 1st, I restarted this one. And this is where I got to. I'm about actually where I was the first time. Except this time I'm using this gray background, this gray fabric, so I don't have to stitch the dark gray background around her. Let's see if you see that dark gray is all stitched. So I did this so I wouldn't have to stitch all that. And then I'm using a toile for the moon. So, and this is Fabric Flare Twilight Dye Effect Sparkly. So it's a sparkly moon on sparkly fabric. And then I started I started Colossal Octopus before that. So this is my Colossal Octopus. This is my first like real full coverage. And it's from Uncommon X Stitch on Etsy. And it's basically a Kraken.
Editing Liz here. It's not Uncommon X Stitch, it's Unconventional X Stitch on Etsy.
Attacking a ship. And it's called Colossal Octopus. So it's huge, and it goes way down farther than this. It's got 50 colors? No. Maybe 50 colors. And that's what I've got. And that's different colors of white, because this corner is like the clouds. And then you can see where I'm getting into the dark stuff. That's where the ship sails are. But it's going to be nice when it's done. But that's a lot of different colors of white in that one little corner. And then that's just how I park my threads. I come up where the next stitch is, and then I go down a little bit, and then I come up, and then I tuck my threads into my rod. It's just what works for me. And then I made this needle minder out of a pendant, but the back of it isn't flat, so it doesn't really work very well. So he's just gonna sit there at the bottom. And after I restarted Art Deco Lady, I also restarted my Merida Tapestry. And I just don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. It's so big. And it's such a pain on this fabric. I don't like this fabric. It's not that I don't even care about dark fabric. I like dark fabric. I just don't like this fabric. This is from Garibaldi's, I think. And it's just, I had trouble with marking it. I had trouble, I just don't like it. So I think I'm gonna scrap it, because this is the second time no, it's only the first time I restarted it. I don't want to restart again on another piece of fabric. So it's just, I'm just gonna throw this one out. It's not even worth trying to salvage this fabric. I don't like the fabric. I don't know if it's just too soft. I don't know why I'm having trouble with it. So I think it's just gonna go. But she sure would have been pretty. I'm gonna obviously keep my pattern and everything, but I just don't like it. And I don't want to fight with it anymore. Stitching is supposed to be fun. Okay, so the last thing I started, well, no, not necessarily last thing. I started the Bluey Stitch Along, and that started, oh, poo. I did not write down. Okay, Bluey. Okay, so it started on May 10th. And this is the Bluey Stitch Along. I haven't done a lot on it. I did a lot of this frame, and then I got myself burnt out. But it's over now. We have all our characters, so now I just have to stitch up my stuff. I have one more row of frame, and then the decorations around the frame, and then the little doggies. And then I made the needle minder, and I made an extra one into a pin so I can have it on my vest at work, and I already got a compliment on my pin. I had a lady say, "Oh, I like your Bluey pin." I'm like, "Thanks, I made it myself." Okay, then I started, and the one I started is Curious Mermaid. Where's that one? I started that one on May 19th. I think I've only worked on it twice. Yeah, I only worked on it twice, but this one, I'm just crazy, okay? I want the same fabric for both of these. And I want it to be so the fabric matches when I hang them next to each other or frame them together. So I wanted it to be like one good piece of fabric, and I don't have a big enough scroll rods. Well, I do, but I'd have to get more of the Velcro for the American Dream one. So what I did was I overlapped where my edge border is. So they're on one frame, but this part won't be stitched, and that's where both of their edges are. So this one's Curious Mermaid. And then over here will be my little minnow. And then for the dark seaweedy border of each, I'm blending two colors, 3750 and 3808. It's a blue and a green. So I'm making my own blend. And then the mermaids are going to be hand-dyed by Rolanda silk. So that's those guys. I haven't started the minnow yet, but I think once I get the border done on the Curious Mermaid, I'll start the border on my little minnow. And it stitches up pretty quick. I mean, I did, the first day I worked on it, I did 123 stitches. But then the next day I worked on it, I did 260, and it didn't even feel like I did that much. Like, it goes pretty quick. I just did a couple strands, and I was like, okay, I put some stitches in. And I think that is it, except for Maggie's name, which this is, I think it's Sam X Stitch on Etsy. They have a whole bunch of these. They're supposed to be like wedding things. So it's supposed to be like George and Lisa and then their wedding date. Well, I wanted to do it as like a birthday thing. So this is going to say Maggie's name. And then it's like a big round thing. So this is like 1/4 of it. So I've been filling in the ecru, and then this fabric, it's not showing up very well, but this is Tea Tree by XG Designs. So it's got like pinky splotches and green splotches, but they're real light, and I thought it would work really well with the greens. I was gonna use Fathom by Pictures Plus because it looked like a perfect green, but when I opened up the piece, I saw the, you know, the blotchiness, and the blotchiness is brown, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it. It won't work. But this tea tree will be perfect. So that's, oh, so this is what the frame looks like. I liked it because it's like Art Deco-y, and then she's got, or they have a, I don't know if it's a girl. They have another one that's really cool too, and I kind of want to do that one. And it's like ivy leaves that are like Art Deco-y. I like Art Deco stuff. And then what I've been doing for the cross stitch camp, where did I put it? Oh, hold on, it's over here. Don't look at my butt. Okay. So, Colorado Cross Stitcher, I did her winter cross stitch camp, and that was the thing I did, the Jardin Privé ABC. Well, she's doing a summer cross stitch camp too. Well, it's just cross stitch camp. It's not called summer cross stitch camp. And so for June, we start June 1st, and we have to have the project done by the end of June to be entered in the contests and stuff. Well, for the big prizes. You can be entered in the contests for just starting, but you wouldn't get the big prizes. So it's supposed to be a holiday piece. Any holiday. It could be Halloween, Thanksgiving, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, you know, any holiday. And I couldn't think of anything I had that was holiday that I hadn't already started. And then I remembered I had, oh dang it, the pictures downstairs. Sugar Plum Dreams by Lindy Stitches. So I'm doing that one. And I've worked on it for 3 days, and I'm already, I think, 15% done. Yeah, I think I hit 15% yesterday. So the first day I did like 396 stitches. The next day I did 416. Yesterday I did like 520 or something. $542. So I love this. And I made some changes to mine, but okay, sorry. So I have made some changes to mine because it's a Clydesdale. And it's a Clydesdale, it's tied to a Christmas tree, it's got a bow, and it's got a cat laying on its back, and then there's a cat on the ground. Well, I changed my Clydesdale to be a Budweiser Clydesdale. So my cat on the ground, I turned into a Dalmatian. And then I put rosebuds in its mane, because the Clydesdales, when they are dressed up, they have rosebuds in their mane. So that's mine. It's so cool. I'm saving the big brown horse for last because it's gonna be lots and lots. I should probably start it so I don't burn out on it. But so to make the cat into a dog, I just added a couple extra stitches to make floppy ears instead of pointy ears, and then instead of the tail curling down, I made it curl up. And then I made it polka dots. Oh, and I gave it a little smile. But that's it. I think that is all of my WIPs. I did go ahead and get the colors for the Colors of Water that I have. It's a German pattern, so I got the colors for it. It's in the Silk app, so I'm going to do that one. I thought I had something else that I was going to start, but I guess not. Oh, I need to get my Blue Jay started. It's supposed to be here. So this is the Oh Hell No, and then the Blue Jay is on the other side of the fabric. So this fabric I got from Hobby Lobby in one of those little square envelopes, and it's the Artiste brand, and it was just called Vintage. And it's a printed fabric, printed Aida. This is literally the same fabric as the one I got from Vintage Needle Arts. It's literally the same thing. They're both printed. They're both Zweigart. So it was just a bigger piece. So that's going to be my Blue Jay, and it's kind of Art Deco-y. So I got the floss ready for it, but then I started all these other things. But so that's it. I'll insert a picture of the Blue Jay so you can see what it'll look like. And I thought this like marbly fabric would look good with it. So there's the Blue Jay. Okay. So that is the end of my 1 year of stitching WIP Parade, and I will be back and film my Flosstube once I get this one edited. So there we go.